I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Network. Well, man, we're getting about to that time of Trump being indicted. That is a thing, it looks like, that is going to be coming as soon as tomorrow. And they are going to make arrangements for him to probably turn himself in sometime next week. But all of this is proceeding more and more in the fashion that the radical left plotted it to proceed. We've got a Soros-backed Manhattan DA that is trying to make a name for himself, and of course, they don't want Trump to run in 2024. He is far and away the leading candidate, yes, over Ron DeSantis. Another poll came out. Trump has increased his percentage points, I believe, by 4% since last Friday. So this is having an impact on his popularity, and it's growing. This is set to totally backfire. This is all political. It's nonsense. Everybody knows it's nonsense. The Daily Mail, Trump will not be arraigned this week. Former president is expected to be indicted tomorrow, and Secret Service will make plans for his surrender and appearance in New York court next week. Donald Trump will likely be indicted on Wednesday, but won't appear before a judge in New York until next week, DailyMail.com has learned. There will be no arraignment this week. A source familiar with the proceedings told DailyMail.com exclusively Tuesday. The former president, who is currently in Florida, is expected to be formally charged tomorrow, after which the Manhattan District Attorney's Office will reach out to Trump and his Secret Service detail to make arrangements for his surrender, according to The Insider. And there's some protesters outside the office of Alvin Bragg, and I mean, just look at them. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about people that oppose Trump, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. He will then fly to New York, where he will be arraigned, fingerprinted, and posed for his mugshot. It will be the most powerful mugshot that anybody has ever seen. And this is set to completely blow up in the face of the Democrats. It truly is set to take that leap, take that step. It's not going to work. We know what they're trying to do, and it is not going to make his support die down in the least bit. They are scared to death of this man because he is the man that can put a stop to all of the nonsense going on across the country. Meanwhile, it's all hands on deck for New York Police Department and Metro Police Department, as all officers on Tuesday are expected to be in uniform, ready for anything in the wake of a potential indictment. Officials in New York City and Washington, D.C. are preparing for some possible unrest and demonstrations following the former president's plea to his supporters to protest in response to a potential indictment handed down by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg over hush money payments made to porn star Stormy Daniels. Trump, 76, said last week he is expected to be arrested on Tuesday, but law enforcement officials told DailyMail.com that the indictment would likely happen on Wednesday at the earliest. An NYPD internal memo obtained by CNN shows that all officers are expected to be in uniform and prepared for deployment Tuesday. Meanwhile, Daniels is also beefing up her security after her attorney said she received concerning messages, including some threatening her life. Law enforcement officials tell CNN there were currently no credible threats in New York, even though Tuesday is a high alert day. And of course, they are trying to make this out like it's going to be some kind of, they've already used the term, oh, he called for protest. They're already trying to take that wording and twist it in the same way that they twisted it in everything involving J6. And we know how this works. We know what they do. And they will try to use that. In fact, they are trying to use the fact that he used the word protest against him already. That's already been a thing. The mainstream media, they're getting fired up. They've been working that into their vernacular for the last several days, saying, oh, here we go. Here we go. It's time to be alarmed. And Trump supporters are the most peaceful protesters ever. We're not like Antifa. We're not like Black Lives Matter. Nothing gets blown up. Nothing gets burnt to the ground. It's actual what you consider to be law-abiding protesting. Yeah. Which is every American's right to do, by the way. Plain and simple. Even Trump supporters. But I will say this, up there in very liberal New York, good luck to you. If you're out there doing that, there's no telling what they will do. I mean, you could get thrown in the clink, all right? Plain and simple, just for protesting. It would not shock me if I saw them, target Trump supporters. It could happen, even if there's nothing that gets out of sorts. Nothing would surprise me at this point. It truly would not. They are so desperate to keep this guy out of office yet again. I mean, we're seeing it right now. I mean, Mike Pence coming out. It's politically motivated. DeSantis, politically motivated. Soros backed. We kind of had a feeling something like this was going to end up happening before we got to actual election day. Why? Because if the Republicans play the same games that the Democrats play, they've got no hopes of beating Trump. None. And on a side note, they can't beat DeSantis either. But they absolutely will not beat Trump. And if he runs in 2028, DeSantis, he will win that election. Americans are fed up with this crap. Truly. The drag shows involving kids. I mean, just everything. The list goes on and on. Wanting to take away fossil fuels. It's inflation. It's just all nonsense. The things that we've discovered about COVID and all the mandates and the lockdowns and the fact that the mask just wasn't none of it panned out in the way that it was supposed to, that we kept being told as they politicized that message as well. We will watch this. We will see what happens. We were going to go live today. Had the arrest moved forward. We'll absolutely be watching for when that becomes imminent. And John and I will go live, if at all possible, if we're both home and can do so. We will go live to try to cover that. And so we can talk about it, give some commentary on it, and just monitor the entire situation. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Man, we're in such a dark, bad place right now. We really are. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next